Hey guys, TimeGem here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Avengers, the Children's Crusade trade paperback. As I have said in the previous video, I was going to review this, the Infinity Gauntlet, and the Infinity War, back to back, basically. So, yeah, the Avengers, the Children's Crusade. The story behind this, how I got this, was that I went to Barnes & Noble, was picking up a gift for a friend of mine, and I saw this for their birthday, and I saw this, and looked through a couple of pages. Really liked the whole aspect of Magneto, Doctor Doom, the X-Men, Young Avengers, the Avengers, all in one book, and see how they played together and stuff like that, and meshed together. And I enjoyed the first couple of pages, decided to buy it, and I have to say, I loved the book. Very, very awesome. So basically we have, the story goes is that Wiccan and I believe his name is Speed. Was it Speed? Yeah, Speed. Wiccan and Speed they believe, or actually Wiccan believes, that they are the twin sons of the Avengers. And during a altercation with the Serpent Society, Wiccan displays similar powers and similar power levels to the Scarlet Witch. And the Avengers took notice of that and decided that they should be more observant to Wiccan, since a potential M Day could happen again. An incident with another Scarlet Witch incident. So yeah, this whole book goes out where Wiccan and Speed and the rest of the Young Avengers want to go in search for the Scarlet Witch to see if she's alive still, and if she is alive, to prove that both Wiccan and Speed are both the sons of the Scarlet Witch. And they meet up with interesting people along the way. Magneto ends up teaming up with them. The X-Men get involved. Doctor Doom gets involved. We see a cameo from X Factor. It's a lot of cameos. A lot of character interactions with this book, which is awesome. I love the whole, different teams interacting with each other and stuff like that, giving their input as far as, what they should do in this type of situation, in a certain situation, who looks at who, in a certain way. It's just very, very cool and very interesting to see different characters in the Marvel Universe actually sit down and look at each other and explain to each other how they view each other without fighting, and it's very cool to see that. So yeah, the one of the biggest sells for me though was that the fact that the Scarlet Witch is finally back. It's been years since we've seen Scarlet Witch. Since M Day. I've not seen her since M Day. And now we have her back in the fold in the Marvel Universe. And this all ties in with the Avengers versus X-Men deal, because they kind of hint that at the end of this book. And those of you who have read it will know what I'm talking about, or have read it know what I'm talking about. So I kind of figured that because of this whole thing was kind of sort of a setup for Avengers versus X-Men, but it's good that they set this up, but not knowing that what I know now is definitely a setup. Now there's a couple of drawbacks to this book which really bugged me for making this a very stellar book. First off, Wiccan and the other Young Avenger Hulkling. For those of you that haven't read Young Avengers books before, um, Wiccan and Hulkling are homosexuals. They have a relationship within the team, and they display that their affection to each other as far as flirting and stuff like that all the time in those books. And it to me it doesn't bother me. If you're gonna have, especially for a company to say that they're more grounded in real life and stuff like that, or they're closer to real life than DC and stuff like that. It doesn't surprise me that they have a homosexual couple in a book like this. What does bother me though is that they kind of force the issue sometimes a bit. It like I said, to me it's fine as far as their relationship goes, but they kind of force the issue and it doesn't seem to flow with the story as much in some cases. And that's the only drawback I've seen as far as that goes. There's some parts in the story where they explain their relationship or talk about their relationship that doesn't seem to flow with the story as much, and it really kind of, I know they were trying to really bring shock value to this book, in the sea of comic books that have gone out during this time, and they wanted sort of to stand out a bit, which I don't blame them for doing. But I mean, the writing in this book by itself should have been a selling point, and the story should have been a selling point, not the shock value that Wiccan and Hulkling are gay. It was sort of a subplot point, but to me they were sort of pushing the issue a bit, and it really wasn't necessary. The story by itself really held strong, and they didn't need to force the homosexual issue at all. One other thing that I can talk about this book that kind of disappointed me was the fact that they brought a character back, from the dead, quote unquote. I mean, technically he wasn't dead during the time, but in the present time, now that he's alive and he was technically dead, sort of caused this time paradox thing which I am not a big fan of. It sort of seemed unnecessary to me that they brought this certain character back. I'm not going to spoil it for you who it is, if you haven't read it yet. But those of you that know what I'm talking about, they kind of get me here. It's cool in a way, and it seems sort of as far as the plot goes, it seemed like it was inevitable, like what's going to happen, but it didn't seem necessary. And I guess in the Marvel Universe sense, someone had to replace him as far as death goes, replacing a soul in Death's realm. And we do see a death, which was pretty shocking to see who it was. Actually, two people died in this book, and which were very shocking. Both were very shocking. I didn't see either of them, one of them coming. As far as the character, I knew there was going to be some deaths, but I didn't figure it was going to be those two. That whole time travel thing, bringing someone back from the dead, that creates a whole time paradox thing, and it actually hurts my head just thinking about it. Not wasn't necessary. Didn't think that was cool at all, but I don't know. I guess that's where they wanted to go with that, and kudos to them for trying that. But like I said, it just gives me a headache just thinking about it. The whole time paradox thing. Another thing that I really loved about this book was the whole character interaction part, as I've said. But another thing I liked about this was the fact that you see, unexpected characters go along with other unexpected characters. With the case with Magneto and Scarlet Witch, you would never think in a million years that Doctor Doom and Scarlet Witch would be in the same place in the same time willingly together. And it's very interesting. It was very interesting to see that, because those two characters, to me, never seemed like the type of people that would go well with each other, but they actually did go well with each other, and it was very neat to see that. Very neat to see that. You also see, Magneto with the Young Avengers, sort of this father figure with them, and sort of a guide for them. And it's very interesting to see that, because Magneto has led teams before, the Acolytes, the X-Men themselves. And it's very cool to see him in a leadership role like that again, and to see him leading a young team under his wings and under his command, and really tell them how the world is, and how mutants are feared and stuff like that, and how they should go about things, and how smart he is as far as strategy goes. Yeah, very cool to see all that dynamic. There's one thing I want to ask though. After the last battle, we see Wonder Man, which, for those of you that don't know, Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch have had relationships during their tenures as Avengers. Wonder Man embraces Scarlet Witch and tells Wanda that she may want to think about joining the Avengers or not, because they seem more of a militaristic type of group than an actual family. Now, I've been away from comics for a while, so would like to ask this question of you guys. Do the Avengers now seem more militaristic to you than a family? If so, leave a comment below, because I would really like to know how each one of you views the Avengers now. As far as are they really a family, or are they just a group, just like some other random group that they just get together just to get the job done, and that's it. There's really no social family interaction and stuff like that. No, they don't look at each other as family anymore. So yeah, great writing, wonderful art, excellent storyline. Nice to see different characters mesh well together. From different groups and different teams and stuff like that. Bad points about this book: the homosexuality thing seemed very forced in some parts. The whole bringing back, time paradox thing, bringing back, certain dead person time paradox thing, really makes my head hurt. Yeah, the good outweighs the bad for sure. So I would say pick this up. If you're interested, if you love the Avengers or any other the teams that I mentioned, pick this up. If you love good stories, pick it up. I definitely recommend it. It's available on Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, eBay. Check it out. Maybe, and it might be at your local comic book store as well. So pick it up, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So next up, I will be reviewing the Green Lantern Annual number 12. Yes, I will be picking up some comics this week, and I will be doing a video of that. So I've been hearing great stuff about Green Lantern, been dying to see it. So I will be reading that on Wednesday as soon as I get out from work. And also I will be picking up Justice League number 12, because I've heard about the whole relationship between Wonder Woman and Superman. So this intrigues me, so I wanted to pick up the Justice League and see where all of that is going, as well as some other cool stuff that I've heard about this past weekend. I also want to pick up this book right here for sure, Captain Marvel number 3. I've heard fantastic things about this book. Been dying to read this book, and I can't wait to read it. So I'll be reviewing those 3 books on Wednesday. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. See you guys. Bye.